Hi friends, I cannot believe it is the last day of 2022. When I tell you I'm just happy to be here because 2022 asked me, can you run, girl? And then proceeded to drag me by my hair through the rest of the year. So I'm just happy to be here. In today's video, this is the last Shelbey Saturday of the year. And it'll be a little bit different. It's not going to be a vlog. It'll be a chit chat, wrapping the year up, what to expect in the 2023 type of video. And if you would like to hear it, here it goes. Before we get started, I would like to tell you that you are definitely going to hear Gunner. He is at my feet. Excuse me, he is licking himself. That is disgusting. You may even see his face because his new thing is to crawl up on the couch and to get, try to get as much of his person into my lap. So I'm just warning y'all now, this is gonna be a little ghetto. But alas, here we are. So first and foremost, I want to say thank you. Thank you to everybody that has supported me this year. Thank you to everyone who has reached out, has sent me things when my mom was sick, that was patient with me as I got orders out, as I tried to get my life together. As y'all know from the vlogs, or maybe you're new here, both of my parents were sick this year. And I was literally trying to figure out how to splice myself in half and have one part of me here and the other part of me there so that I could show up for both of my parents equally. And in return, that meant that my business went to shit for a little while there. But things are turning around. So I just want to say thank you. Even if it just was as little as a message of encouragement or I see you. Thank you for still placing orders. Just thank you. Y'all continue to show up for me, and it is emotional and overwhelming, and I've definitely learned a lot. I've definitely learned a lot this year. I've learned so much this year. So that's a big thing. I remember going into 2022 with a lot of business goals, right? I was on the momentum of starting my business and doing something that I love, and it literally crashed and burned, right? And I didn't know if I was coming into this year to continue my business or to just go back to finding a 9-to-5 and just being miserable. I didn't know what I was gonna do, but things have turned around so much. So I say that to say, don't give up when things get hard. There's a lesson in everything, and it may not make sense in the moment. I think this year has taught me the importance of rest. Either you are going to make time for self-care and you're going to rest, or you're going to be forced to make time for a hospital stay. It's either or. I think I've had to face a lot of trust issues this year. I've had to face a lot of trauma that I thought I healed, but I learned this year that healing is continuous. So those things that you think you've healed, that maybe you have healed, can still trigger you, right? Because healing is not just this final destination, but a continuous journey. So that was a lot. I've also figured out that happiness is continuous too. Happiness is not a final destination. Happiness is the things that make you happy today may not make you happy next week. Point blank, period. And I think we have to learn to adjust to changes. I think somewhere along the line we were taught that certain feelings are permanent when they're not. They're not. The things and the people and the places that make you happy right now are not going to make you happy forever. And that is because we change. Our perception of things changes. We learn new things. We meet new people. Our boundaries change. Our circumstances change. Nothing is permanent. That's what I've learned this year. Nothing is permanent, and that is okay. I've learned a lot about grief. I think we discuss grief only in reference to when people die. When I've learned that I have to take space to grieve the changes in my life that I struggle with, because for a long time I didn't like change. I think that's the neurospiciness in me. That change can be very hard for me. But I've definitely learned to grieve the changes that happen in my life. Whether, it just minor changes. It could be, having a change of schedule. Like, I have to take space and say, hey, I don't like that I have to do this here and not there now. Or acknowledging that a swift change does make me feel away, right? That's been important. Or even bigger things, having to let people go, you have to take the space to grieve that, right? Because change is a really big deal. And it's kind of funny that we only think about grief when we are talking about death, when we experience smaller deaths in our life all the time, right? You stop talking to somebody, that's a death. You lose a job, or you decide to quit a job, that's a death. You start a new business, right? That's the ending and a beginning of something. Like who you were before is now dying, and you're coming into someone new. And we don't grieve those things, right? And I think that's why when death does happen, or when big things happen, it's so hard because we don't acknowledge our emotions to the smaller changes, right? So learning to give myself space to feel. There were a lot of rapid changes in my life this year, and a lot of it I did not give myself space to feel about. I'm still trying to feel and comprehend a lot of the things that happened this year. It's all a process. So that was my year, basically. I did not do a lot of reading. I think going into 2023, I want to fall in love with reading again, because reading became very much a business for me, which is what I wanted. I'm not complaining about that. I wanted reading to become a business. I still am very passionate about diversifying people's reading. I have to find balance. I have to find balance in what I read for pleasure versus just reading stuff to make content. Like, that work-life balance is really difficult when you're an entrepreneur, especially when you've marketed yourself. Again, not complaining, just things that I learned. Like, on top of like it just being a rough year, I wasn't able to dive into books because my mind immediately went to, oh, I need to hurry up and finish something so I have content to post, right? And my mind, like, I was so functioning in survival mode that I could not. My bad, y'all. I'm trying to get I told y'all this video was gonna be good. I was so much in survival mode that, like, it was ridiculous. And we're not doing that in 2023. 2023 will be easy. I am claiming that. I'm doing all of the superstitious shit tonight. Anyway, I want to fall in love with books again. And I'm starting to. I finished My Darkest Prayer the other day. I'm going to do a review video on that one because I have words. But besides when I read Kindred, it was the first time that I read something and I was like, oh, I have things to say. I'm excited to have things to say, and so on and so forth. I've been like buying some books recently and that has been fun. Looking for new authors and doing that again has been fun. And just trying to place like, oh, it's, what are the words that I'm looking for? It can be content, and it's okay if it's not, right? And putting my love for reading first, and then that's how I get good content. So just trying to figure that out. And just being transparent as possible. Like, I'm trying to get back into the swing of things from a place of genuine want and care, because I do better and I can serve you guys better when it's coming from a genuine place. Since we're talking about reading, let's talk about my reading goals for 2023. I was gonna do like a whole separate video, but we're not gonna do that. So I want to read between 50 and 75 books this year. I'm not going to stress myself out if I don't. I am going to do a separate video on how I plan to track my reading. I do plan to read every day for at least an hour or more. I do have a journal. I will be using Goodreads. I will also be using Storygraph this year consistently. I think I'm going to make my Storygraph and Goodreads goal for 2023 one book, because I learned this year when I had to look at the Goodreads goal, it stressed me out so bad, and I was more focused on making sure I was caught up with that number than I was about like reading quality. And it would mess with my head when maybe I was on track and then I DNF'd a book and now I'm behind and like all of this stuff, and I don't want to do that to myself. I'm gonna make it one. In my mind, we know that I want to be between 50 and 75 books. The past 3 years I've read between 30 and 50 books. I guess I should have said that. This year I read a total of 33 books. And that is fine. Reading is as long as I read, right? So between 50 and 75 books. I will be tracking in a journal. I will be using Goodreads. I will be using Storygraph. I'm really enjoying Storygraph, but I'll talk about all of that in a separate video. Okay. Let's look at my notebook because I wrote stuff down. What are you doing, Bubs? He about to bring his toy over here. I want y'all to know. Let's talk about some changes to Shelbey and the book club. So you guys know I do have a monthly book club. The book club pick for... Sorry, somebody was calling me. The book club pick for January. Come up here, baby, so that you're not barking. Here, you want to say hi to the people? Hi, handsome. Here, I'll rub you. Go ahead, lay down. Lay down. Good job. Good job. Good job, Bubby. Okay. Listen, it's going in. It's getting edited as is. Changes to Shelbey and the book club. There will still be a book monthly. That book for January is, hold on a second, y'all. It is from scratch. You can get this at shelbeyandthebookstore.com if you would like a copy and you would like to join us. The book discussions are going to be the first of every month. So January's book discussion will be February 1st. I will promote it. I will tell you guys ahead of time so that you guys can prepare for it, so on and so forth. I'm going to announce the next month's book on the 20th of every month. That way it gives you guys time to order. It gives me time to get y'all books to y'all, so on and so forth. So those are the changes. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Last but certainly not least, we are going to do a challenge for 2023. The challenge will be called, I will put it here on the screen, Shelbey in the 23 nonfiction books. So if you know, you know that I read Scenes from My Life by Michael K. Williams, and I can't remember the other author's name, but I read those two books, and well, that one book, my bad, and it made me realize that I am just ignoring my love for nonfiction, right? I haven't read really good nonfiction, but Scenes from My Life changed me. I've always loved Michael K. Williams. I'm actually rewatching The Wire right now, and I totally have a different perspective of Omar as the character just based on reading that book. And it just was, it just was so amazing to me. Like, it was such a good book. So it made me want to read more nonfiction. I've also been really enjoying historical fiction, which made me realize, okay, well, maybe I need to read some more historical nonfiction. So I will be doing a video talking to you guys more about some recommendations and the things that I get to read. And every month I will include one or two nonfiction books in my TBR stack to meet my goal. How do you join the challenge? I'm going to create a Discord so we can talk. Use the hashtag and leave a comment about what your first nonfiction book of the year is going to be. This is why I picked from scratch. It is nonfiction. It is a memoir. And I think it'll just get us where we need to be. So that is that. I hope you have a happy new year. Listen, open the front door at midnight and usher 2022 out of here. Old Raggedy Huzzy. And yeah, if no one has told you today, I love you, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, guys.